So, you've got the brand new iPhone 16 in your hands. It's a beast, right? A technological marvel. But here's a question. Are you really getting everything you paid for out of that camera? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain, dive into some hidden settings, and turn your photos and videos from just meh to absolutely pro level.
Does this hit a little too close to home? You spend all this cash on the latest and greatest phone, you're all excited to show it off, and then you snap a picture and the result is just kind of disappointing. It leaves you wondering, did I just make a really expensive mistake?
I mean, you know the feeling, right? You're out with your friends, you pull out your shiny new iPhone to capture the perfect moment, and what comes out looks like it was taken on a phone from the year 2000. It is seriously embarrassing when you've been talking up how amazing your new phone is. But here's the good news. It's not you, and it's not your phone. Not at all. The real issue is that Apple, by default, hides some of the most powerful camera settings, the kind of stuff the pros know about. But don't you worry, because we're about to fix all of that right now. Okay, first things first, let's totally transform your video recordings. We're going to make just 3 simple tweaks that will give you that cinematic quality, incredible stability, and crystal clear sound that, actually works on all devices. Let's jump in.
Now, here is the first mistake almost everybody makes. You see 60 frames per second and you think, well, bigger must be better. But here's the thing. While 60 FPS is super smooth, it can look a little unnatural, almost too real, and it often lacks rich detail. For that classic Hollywood movie vibe, 24 frames per second is the undisputed industry standard.
And changing this is so simple. Just pop into your settings, scroll down to camera, tap on Record Video, and then just select 4K at 24 FPS. Boom! Just like that, you're shooting like a real filmmaker.
Next up, stabilization. Nobody wants to watch a video that looks like it was filmed during an earthquake, right? Well, enhanced stabilization is Apple's built-in magic trick that smooths out all those little shakes and bumps when you're, say, walking and recording.
But, and this is a huge pro tip, if your phone is locked down on a tripod and it's perfectly still, you have to turn this feature off. Otherwise, the software tries to correct for movement that isn't actually happening, and you get this weird kind of floaty-looking video. So remember, stabilization on for handheld, off for tripod. Okay, let's talk about sound. By default, your iPhone records in spatial audio, which sounds amazing on other Apple devices. But here's the catch. The second you share that video with a friend who has an Android phone or you try to play it on an older laptop, the audio can get totally messed up and garbled. Stereo, on the other hand, is the universal format. It guarantees your audio will sound crisp and clear for everyone, everywhere. And yep, you guessed it, this is another easy fix. Just go back into those camera settings, tap on Record Sound, and make the simple switch from spatial audio over to stereo. Now you can share your videos without ever having to worry about those pesky compatibility problems again. All right, the video is sorted. Let's switch gears to still photography. It is time to awaken the magic and finally, unleash the full jaw-dropping power of that 48 megapixel camera that you paid good money for. 48. That's a massive number. It represents an absolutely incredible amount of detail and quality. But, and you might not believe this, right out of the box, your iPhone isn't even using all of it. And here it is, the big secret Apple doesn't really advertise. To save a little bit of storage space, your 48 megapixel camera defaults to taking 24 megapixel photos. That means you're getting half the quality you paid for. If you want those super sharp photos that you can zoom into without losing any detail, we have got to change this setting. So this is a really important 2-step process. First, you're going to go into Settings, then Camera, then Formats, and you're going to toggle on Resolution Control. Now, the next time you open your camera app, you'll see a new button up top. It says HEIF Max. Just tap that little button and you are officially shooting in full 48 megapixel glory. Just a quick heads up though, these high-resolution photos are, as you'd expect, much larger files. So if you have a phone with lower storage like 128 gigs, you might want to be a little selective and use this feature for your most important shots, just so you don't fill up your phone too fast. Now let's talk about adding a little flair. Your iPhone has these fantastic built-in photographic styles, which are basically like filters you can apply before you even hit the shutter button. They're a really cool way to give all your photos a consistent, professional look. But please, for the love of good taste, use a light touch. If you just crank that intensity slider all the way up, your photos are going to look super over-processed and unnatural. The source material for this had a hilarious warning. You'll look like you just dipped your face in a bag of turmeric. Trust me, a little goes a long, long way.
And finally, let's just get rid of a couple of common annoyances. These last two settings are all about quality of life, making your camera work for you so you can focus on actually getting the shot instead of fighting with the software.
So here are two massive frustrations with two incredibly simple solutions. First, is your camera constantly forgetting your favorite filter or exposure setting? Annoying, right? Fix that by turning on Preserve Settings. And second, do your on-screen buttons sometimes just vanish? That's a feature called Clean Preview. Just turn it off and your controls will stay put.
And that Preserve Settings feature is a total game changer. You set up your camera exactly how you like it once, and it's ready to go every single time you open the app. No more fiddling with sliders at the last second. It's just pure, convenient peace of mind.
Okay, that was a lot, I know. So let's boil it all down. It's time for your Instant Pro upgrade. If you only do 3 things after watching this, please make it these 3.
Here it is, your checklist for immediate, awesome results. Number 1, set your video to 4K at 24 frames per second. Get that cinematic look. Number 2, change your sound to stereo so everyone can hear you. And number 3, turn on resolution control so you can finally shoot in glorious 48 megapixels.
Because let's be real, if you leave everything on the default settings, what's the actual difference between the shots from your super expensive new iPhone and a phone that costs half as much? These settings right here, these are what truly set your phone apart.
So the ball is in your court now. Which one of these settings are you going to run and change right this second? Are you ready to go pro? Or are you just going to keep on living life on auto? Let me know.